My name is Jessica Mills. I work in product marketing here at Atlassian, focused on Teamwork Collection, and I am thrilled to be here alongside Natalia Lajai, Senior Atlassian Expert at Personio. How cool is it that the technology stack that we're here to talk about is actually how Natalia and I worked together over the last couple months, undisrupted by some planned vacations, collaborating with each other from San Francisco to Berlin. But don't worry, I'm not going to talk anymore about how we made this session. We're here not just to talk about one use case of Teamwork Collection. We're here to talk about the impact that it can have org-wide when you make the decision to standardize on a single platform. So Natalia and I want you to come away from this session with just an understanding of what are some of the challenges that you might be faced that are similar to Personio, that are similar to what I'm hearing from many customers out there, and why Teamwork Collection could be that solution to a lot of those challenges. Natalia is going to share some key use cases that business teams from across her entire organization and how they're using Teamwork Collection to power their workflows. And then she has a few demo recordings to show you. And then we'll end with some pro tips on how to get started and an action item that I'm going to ask of each of you and how to get started on your transformation journey. But before we dive in, I just want to spend a couple minutes just ensuring that we all have a baseline understanding of what Teamwork Collection is and why Atlassian is investing so heavily in this space. And that starts with why now, right? We're all feeling it. I'm feeling it. There's been these shifts in markets and technologies that means we have to respond faster and smarter and more creatively than we've ever been asked to. And we have to be able to respond to these shifts in markets. But it's really hard to do that right now because there's these external factors that are really changing the playing field. When it comes to AI, that means the barrier to entry is lower. There's more players, there's more competitors in the field than ever before, and they are shipping fast and they are shipping frequently. And we don't just need to keep up, we need to stay ahead. Security is a non-negotiable. No one in this room can afford a security breach. So we need to be incredibly thoughtful about how we roll out technology, what we're rolling out. Market leaders are also being disrupted by these agile new players in the market who are able to adapt faster than those market leaders. And this will never change. Your customer expectations, whether those are your external customers or your internal customers, your employees, these are always going to be growing. They're always going to be asking more of you. And these external forces, this is hard, right? But then when you combine that with this internal friction that's really slowing organizations down, it's even harder to react to these shifts. You've got these disconnected and fragmented systems that mean that your AI, your investments in AI are most likely broken. AI is only as good as the foundation of data that it is running on top of. This also leads to disconnected experiences for your employees. They're toggling in between all of these different systems. They're duplicating work. This is problematic for your internal teams. When you have all of these tools that really weren't intended to work together to begin with, your IT teams are just spending all of their time stitching together these systems. And it makes it really, really hard to move fast. It makes it almost impossible to scale. But it does not have to be this way. And that is why Atlassian has invested in the Atlassian system of work and Teamwork Collection. So when you think about this, and I know you've seen a lot at this event, but when you think about this graphic, I want you to think about how this is where Atlassian is moving. We are building a world where teamwork applications are intended to be integrated. They're intended to work together. So that instead of investing in these individual product experiences, we're investing in solutions for teams, solutions for software teams, for service teams, for leadership teams. And it all really starts with Teamwork Collection, the solution that is for every team. Now, Teamwork Collection, it comes with, technically, Confluence, Loom, Rovo, and Jira. But I don't want you to think about Teamwork Collection as those 4 products. From this point forward, I want you to think about Teamwork Collection as this unified collaboration stack, where no matter where you are in your unified collaboration stack, you can do anything. Whether you're creating a knowledge artifact in a brainstorming session and recording a recap of that session to then embed into a work item. And then underneath all of that, without you even knowing it, Teamwork Graph is working its magic and connecting relationships between all of those data points that we just talked about. so that Rovo can then surface insights to you contextually, smartly, and even delegate work to it because it has the right context. That is what we want your experience with these tools that you already have at your fingertips to be. And that's exactly what Natalia is about to walk us through in her experience at Personio.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I have to now. So yeah, hi there, I'm Natalia. I'm Atlassian expert at Personio. And if you don't know what Personio is a German software company dedicated to empowering small and medium-sized businesses, especially those with up to 2,000 employees, through all-in-one HR software. Our platform simplifies and automatizes key HR processes such as recruiting, employee administration, and payroll. Having scaled to nearly 2,000 employees by 2025, we remain guided by our mission to unlock the power of people for organizations worldwide, aiming to positively impact the work lives of 4 million people by 2026. As an Atlassian expert, I ensure the company makes the most of its Atlassian ecosystem, leveraging all available products to their full potential. Before teams create their own solutions, I focus on educating them about what's possible within our existing tools, helping prevent unnecessary purchases of separate products. So, although Personio has been using Atlassian tools for over 9 to 10 years now, my role as an Atlassian expert was established just over a year ago. So, reflecting the organization's recognition of how critical effective tooling is. Not only for product and tech teams, but for the whole org. Legal, finance, operations, customer experience. I was the first Jira admin in the company. When I joined the company, I discovered that our Atlassian org was, let's say, creatively organized. We had over 300 system admins, yes, you hit it right, not 3, not 30, we had 300 system admins when I joined. So I won't sugarcoat it, it was an adventure that was waiting for me. The org had little to no governance, minimal standardization practices, and all of this impacted all teams using Atlassian tools. Everyone. So these are 3 points, these are 3 challenges that I faced when I joined Personio. Fragmented collaboration, as you can imagine. Teams were using different disconnected systems. They had to always switch from one tool to another, losing productivity all the time. It was super difficult to find information. They have to look through different tools that they had, Google Docs, Confluence, Jira, Slides, whatever, to find the real information. The second super important point is that we had no standardization at all. A lack of governance and tool redundancy caused data loss. It made it difficult to audit usage and ensure the compliance. Even though Personio is not that heavily regulated company, we do have our compliance practices that we try to follow, and tooling is helping doing that. Multiple teams were using different tools, Notion, Miro, whatever. It was up to them, whatever they wanted to use. And obviously, this led to data silos, inefficiencies, super high cost, because you need to pay for all those tools separately, and security risks. We had really messy processes, especially in release management. The collaboration cross-departmentally was really bad. It slowed down the work and created a lot of friction. The third point here is also incredibly important, the security and data risk. Security teams, as I mentioned earlier, was not able to properly audit the tooling, was not able to audit the usage and the sharing of the information, and especially with shadow IT and free individual tool accounts that people had. Public sharing of sensitive content was at risk without enterprise controls. So we knew that it was time to unify everyone on one platform, and it was time for a change. So we set out on a mission to unify not only the Atlassian tooling, but the majority of our collaboration tools in the company. I gained the support of 2 additional admins. That was a huge win for me. As you can imagine, doing it all alone is incredibly difficult. And together, we have expanded our tool coverage beyond Atlassian products. We're trying to merge and unify whatever possible. So the team tries to cover as many collaboration tools we have in the company as possible. Our goal is to improve the tools themselves. But not just that. We want to win the team's trust and drive adoption across the company. No matter how good you think Jira and Confluence is for all the use cases, if Teams is not on board with that, they will never use it. You need to make sure they understand the tools itself as well, because if they don't understand them, they will never use it as well. You only use something you understand. So we relied really heavily on Jira and Confluence already. It was used throughout the company. And this gave us really good opportunity to build this communication and async communication that we are currently really focusing on as a company with Rovo and Loom. So with Teamwork Collection, we got integrated tooling for all teams, the first point there. It drives standardization, right? We have one platform. People don't have to jump around looking for anything. We have one home button in Atlassian where you can have the visibility across all the products Atlassian has on one page. First, what we did, we phased out Notion. We moved teams to Confluence. Currently, Confluence, I think in the past 6 to 7 months, has received so many new features and such a great user experience that it was a no-brainer. We're aiming to unify our whiteboarding tools as well. We're currently using Miro a lot, and the Atlassian whiteboarding has improved a lot in the past months. We love the new feature that Atlassian whiteboards have, where you can basically write a prompt in one sentence, and with Rovo, like with AI within the whiteboard, you get the full diagram written for you based on that prompt. You don't have to think about it. Or you have sticker notes created according to the prompt that you have. It saves a lot of time. And I think, generally speaking, Confluence whiteboarding right now has become a very strong competitor to Miro, which was not the case like even 4 months ago. Second point is the opportunity with AI and automation. With Rovo AI, we're really taking the advantage to drive automation, to drive productivity through automation throughout the whole company. There will be a use case where I show you our layer 1 IT support Rovo agent automation. It saves a lot of time, and it's still piloting, but it's a cool use case, I think. And with Rovo being there, we experience a really great increase in adoption and usage of existing Jira and Confluence tools. For example, one of the use cases we had from our platform engineer is that he connected all of his slides he created in the past 6 months, Jira tickets, GitHub pull requests, Confluence pages he collaborated on or created himself, and asked Rovo to create a performance review for him for the last 6 months. And it just got an amazing. It saved him hours of time just because he didn't have to manually go through all of those tooling and find what was the biggest achievements and impact that he created in the last 6 months. And it was amazing and saved a lot of time for him. The next point is the seamless knowledge management that we got with the Teamwork Collection. It's obviously Confluence. We are using Company Hub, Unified Knowledge Hub, as we call it, intensively. We have revamped it a little bit, and I will show you in the use cases further how. And the next point is mitigate security risk and shadow IT. So teams have been using Loom through free accounts and paying separately for their own budget. So With Teamwork Collection, we got Loom Enterprise, which helped us to mitigate all of those risks. Our security has a full control on who's sharing the Loom videos, when those Looms are shared, and so on and so forth. They can audit really greatly with this ability. They can put restrictions on who's sharing what. And there's no more any security concerns in terms of data. The last but not least, and super important point, and something that we have been, where Personio made a really bold changes recently, is async ways of working. So over the past few weeks, Personio really decided to make important changes in terms of how we make decisions, how we run processes, how we organize ourselves. As everything gets super noisy when you try to work right. The focus is something that everyone try to have time for, but never finds. So first thing we did is we cut all the noise, right? So we made sure that the communication policies are very clear for everyone, when we share information and how we share information, specifically the announcements in the company. This helps a lot to cut down the noise. Then we made the meeting makeover. We embraced the rule of effective meetings only, meaning if it can be async, it will be async. No exceptions. We moved from slides to docs and conference pages to make sure that there are no mystery slides that no one knows about and has no access to. Everything is really clear and open, and you can find the information easily. And the game changer here was also Loom, because Loom enabled us to really unlock that power of async working. People were able to create a Loom video and skip that meeting, explain what exactly they're trying to achieve with this certain feature they're trying to make, and just skip the meeting altogether. What is really cool about Loom is Loom has AI feature, and with Loom AI, you can auto-edit context to videos. You can also auto-generate docs from the recordings. So for example, you want to have a video and you also want to have a documentation about the video, because some people like to read. You can have both. Loom does it for you. Yeah, so let's move on. These are some top use cases we had with the Teamwork Collection. We have release management used by customer experience teams. We're not there yet with our product and tech teams though, but hopefully next year I will be presenting your release management in plans for our product and tech releases. But customer experience uses plans a lot for that. We have tool consolidation work-wide as well. We're trying to make sure that we consolidate as much as possible. We had so many duplicated tools that basically done the same. Notion would be one example, right? Async training and enablement, something that Loom helps us with. As we are a B2B company, you can imagine we have a lot of customers asking us about some training sessions and enablement sessions, which normally always happen live or in a call. You can now just send a Loom video explaining, or the solution engineer can send a Loom video explaining about the certain feature, the functionality that required a call prior to that. Our people workplace and IT department has a better knowledge sharing, like Confluence space. You will see it in one of the use cases, so I'm not going to go too deep about this one. The IT support agent, and content hygiene is something we also redefined with the use of Rovo AI. This is also the use case you will see further. We have our legal team using a service desk where anyone in the company can create a ticket on concerning either customer or the internal employee. They embrace both. So they have a very, I would say, it's not a complex configuration of a service desk, but definitely something that requires a lot of intense kind of permission schemes architecture because of all the legal, you can imagine all the sensitive information being there. So, but the use case is incredible. And we use goals and projects as our OKR tracking tool in people, workplace, and IT department. Something that we're living on the Google Sheets and slides prior to that. Let's move to the use cases here. So we have 3 use cases where I want to show you how we revamped our company hub. This is Confluence Company Hub, and one of the most viewed and most searched for Confluence spaces in the company, which is the people, workplace, and IT space. As you can imagine, obviously, a lot of people having questions about, I don't know, people-related questions, right? And this is the most searched information in every company, probably next to the product and tech information. So we decided to move on with this example first. We are still in the process of revamping other spaces as well. So, and then I'm going to show you the IT support automation for our tier 1 Rovo agent that my colleague Adele has created. And the last, but not least, would be the training and enablement Loom video from our community manager, Daniela. Here we are. This is our Confluence Hub, Personio Hub. As you can see, it's a bit colorful. We do use Karma cards. It's not just Confluence native functionality, even though you can also do it with the Confluence cards right now as well. It might be a little bit less colorful, but it does the work. Functionally wise, it's the same. You can click through different departments. As you can see, we'll focus on people, workplace, and IT one today. You have the teams, most used and searched for topics according to those teams, for people, operations, rewards, and so on and so forth. You have the sub-pages there, and you have weekly all teams recordings if you need to, and latest news about the company and resources that you can find as well. All in one place, one page. You can just go there and explore. Let's go now to the people, workplace, and IT shopfront. This is our main Confluence page for people, workplace, and IT. You have a search bar there, which searches only within that space. You have top search topics within the department. You have hot topics within the department as well. We have analytics in Confluence, and it's all based on analytics. It's not our imagination of, okay, people are probably interested in this and that. No, it's all data-based. And yeah, that's basically it. I wanted to show you Rovo chat here, why it was so important. It's not just the pretty picture, right? We also make sure that all the pages in that space are relevant, have all active ownership, information is up to date, you can trust this information. It's super important that, like, how many showers does Berlin office have? And Rovo searches and gives the answer of 2 showers, and I can trust this information. It's not something that I know that's probably not true because the office has expanded recently. It is. I can see the source of the information. I can see that it was updated recently. It has an active owner attached to that source. So I'm trusting this. And this is incredibly important. If you go through all the Confluence spaces that we still need to revamp, and I see so many pages with deactivated owners and with the last updated date of, I don't know, 3 years ago, it's definitely not something I want to be looking at and spend my time on, right? And time is of essence here. So yeah, that's basically it with regards to Confluence. Let's move on to the next one. So here I want to present you an IT Rovo agent that my colleague has created. And yeah, this agent helps us to, this agent, the basic idea was to have an agent that would solve a very basic cases for our end users. So it obviously cannot help with the complex case, but it can definitely help to reset a password or help with finding some information the user needs. Let's start with the use case of creating a ticket in our IT service desk and writing something like, some app doesn't work for me. It's obvious that this person does not have access to that specific app, right? So we'll write the summary and the description. We'll choose the location of that. So you see the ticket being created, and you already see the IT bot has answered with the information, exact information of what the user needs to do. Now I will show you the actual Jira ticket of that specific use case, where you can see that in another example, there was no documentation found for that specific use case. And what the bot did, it created a subtask, assigned it to the tier 2 person to make sure that all the gaps are covered, and the tier 2 person creates the documentation for that specific case. This is very crucial, because that way we can know that next time the bot will solve this use case, not the actual person. How the automation works. So first, you need to create the Rovo agent. I'm not going to go into details on how to create the Rovo agent. There are so many sessions on that one. I'll start with the automation rule, where you can see that you basically use a simple automation rule. You make sure you attach the IT bot Rovo agent there with the prompts attached to that Rovo agent. Prompts are very simple, as you can see. You just need to make sure that the Rovo agent searches in the correct internal knowledge base. This is Confluence, to make sure that the agent answers also with the article to the problem, so that the user can read the article themselves if they need to, and then adds the comment to the work item. And the comment is added as the IT bot. You can, of course, make sure that the comment is added as some real person if you want to. If you want to have a personal user experience in that sense. What this automation also does is that if no documentation was found by the IT bot, the subtask is created underneath the Jira ticket, saying that, hey, there is no documentation was found. Please make sure to create documentation in Confluence. And then there's the tier 2 support agent is assigned to that specific ticket to make sure to create the documentation. So the goal is to basically make sure that the tier 1 tickets are being solved by the Rovo agents, and then tier 2, tier 3 is basically, of course, the work that it should be done by people. That use case is still being piloted. We hope to get good results out of it. We hope that we obviously also teach the agent, right? We make sure that if there are use cases where documentation was found and the agent couldn't answer properly, we make sure we change the prompt and improve it. But yeah, as a current state, it looks like this, and huge shout out to my colleague Adele for making it happen. Yeah, so, and the last but not least, I guess this is the Loom video. By the way, all of those videos are made with Loom, and they were made really fast. It took me like 5 minutes to cut them, to edit them, to make sure they look legit. And that's why I also love using Loom, and it's super easy. This one is also a Loom video where our community manager, Daniele, shows to our customers the possibility of searching the information in our Personio Voyager community. This is a site where everyone from our customers can go and check the documentation, check the product releases, ask questions about our product, find information about our events and webinars, ask any question about the Personio product itself. And as you can see, the video is incredibly interactive, because not only do you have the video that shows what can you find and where you can click, but also you can see our beautiful Danielle explaining this to you. It's a very personalized way of communication. And yeah, you can feel the energy and positivity coming from him and the whole team behind our product as well. I'm not going to go through the whole video here because, yeah, we are short of a time. let's talk about the impact of this org-wide adoption of those tools, right? We see huge increase of our knowledge usage after the Confluence revamp. It's still ongoing, as I mentioned. We still have a lot of other spaces where we want to change the content. We make sure to clean this up. But the discoverability and the knowledge usage significantly increased within the weeks after the revamp. We also accelerated the AI adoption. Rovo search is being used intensively through the whole company. Agent creation has been increased as well, even though we understand that it might take some time for people to adopt on creating the agents. Using the agents is a different thing, but creating them is something that might require longer adoption. We also see, of course, cost and governance efficiencies. By consolidating and standardizing the tools, we decreased the bottom line costs, we simplified the governance, and we reduced the security risks. We also see the AI-driven productivity gains. As you can see, and so from the example, we do hope the AI will eliminate the repetitive work that people have to do right now, so that humans can focus on really strategic work, really complex work. More interesting work, or creative one, as you can call it, right? You can start at any time. Obviously, it's better sooner rather than later, but it's never too late. You can start with all of those things at any point of time in your business or at the company that you're working in. 4 tips that I think you can take away with you is documentation drives adoption. As mentioned, people only use tools and processes and systems they understand, and documentation is really helping them to understand it. Building trust is also non-negotiable. Good content hygiene, discoverability of information, knowing it's up to date, that's what builds trust. They know, okay, if I go to Confluence, if I go to this space, I know that it's everything that I read here is relevant, up to date, and I can trust this. Unified data is the secret sauce. As the example that I mentioned about the performance review, right? Bringing data together with Rovo unlocks so much. You can search through all of those apps from within one interface. It's so easy. And show, don't tell. With Loom, you can show and create and make the documentation so much more interactive that people just want to watch it and they would know about, rather than reading a page that could be a bit too long, a bit too boring, and we don't like to read too much text, I guess. That's it from my side.
Perfect.
Thank you.
When you think about kind of top-level objectives that you might be trying to drive at your organization, these are 3 themes that we hear a lot. Increasing speed to market, organizational effectiveness, and consolidation and standardization of your tools and processes. And actually, when I shared this with Natalia, and it was shared exactly as this, she kind of smiled and said, well, yeah, these were our 3 top-level objectives. Now, Natalia's journey started with consolidation and standardization, and then she moved to speed to market with AI and improving organizational effectiveness with connecting workflows and processes. But your journey may begin somewhere else. So take a look at these outcomes. Think about what's going to make your team, your organization, yourself professionally most successful this fiscal year. And then go challenge your sales team, go challenge your account team, go challenge us, and force us to really show you what that journey will look like for you. We can help quantify the impact that you're trying to drive. We can help build that crawl, walk, run. A lot of you have these tools at your fingertips, and we want you to get the value, the exponential value that you can when you're using them together, like what Natalia and Personio were able to do. All right, thanks guys, we're at time. Really appreciate you joining the session.